let's get started. Lift the cloche.
You go first, chef.
Oh,
It's called a Gastromax.
Welcome to another Kitchen Gadgets video. We've got our chef here, Ben, and our home cook, Mike, checking out some fascinating kitchen gadgets.
okay.
It's got an Allen
Something
key.
is what?
Look at the bottom. Like, why is it that shape?
It's got to clip into something else which we haven't been given. So is it a salad spinner? Does it clip on the top of something that spins?
I'll give you the thing that's going to give it away.
Oh, it's just a grater.
It's a rotary gratory thing that sends your gastronomic delights to the max.
Okay.
Yes, this is the Gastro Max grater, and it makes grating quick and easy even for bigger batches. Simply lift the containing separator and add your ingredients before applying light pressure to the handle and rotating using the turning knob.
So it took me a while to figure it out, but essentially these slide in
That's quite nice,
and
actually.
have to fit in there. And once they fit in there,
That's quite
then you
ergonomical.
lock it in and you've not got a bowl to wash up. You're just, I actually quite like that. You're suddenly grating straight onto your chopping board, which you're going to be washing up anyway. So the one thing I normally hate about these gadgets, which is extra stuff to wash up, it doesn't exist. Let's presume the blades are factory sharp. Should we give it a go?
Cool.
Should we start with cheese, Mike?
Start with the softest, then work your way up.
So because you need to hold and turn, whatever you do has to be quite small pieces.
Okay.
I think, because we
And
need
crescent shaped as well. Do you
And
want me to
crescent
just
shaped.
sculpt this?
that should go in there, but it needs to be small enough for that to be able to push down on
Yep.
it. So it's working. It relies on this pressure to
Yep.
keep the pressure on the spinny wheel. But it works.
Look at that. Vermicelli.
Nice, fine cheese. So far, so good.
Okay, should we work our way up? Get harder?
Can you halve my...
That is a
Onion.
whopper
Oh, the way.
shallot. Not so good.
There's quite a gap between the plunge and the blade, so there's stuff that once it's in layers kind of gets
Dragged.
pushes through. Should we try
go
it
again?
once more? It's all about the pressure of the clamp as the turn. It feels very good.
That's so much better.
Sliced onion,
Yeah, not bad.
Nice.
pretty good. You're always, like with the cheese, going to end up with a few bits at the end that don't quite go through. That's a bit clunky, but pretty good. Should we do coarse grate of
Zucchini?
courgette? This is very domestic in my head. I think the only professional place you'll see this is a food expo where someone's demoing it at you. Apply quite a bit of pressure. It does quite a good job. I mean, my eyes are watering because I actually don't think the blades are that sharp and it's like sort of tearing through onion rather than slicing through anything. It worked really well on the cheese.
I don't like it.
If you're making coleslaw and the alike where you've got lots of grating or slicing, perhaps, but you've still got to have a knife and a board on one side
Yeah.
to prep everything ahead, and you might as well just have a box grater.
Yeah, I hate box graters, but they're better than this. I don't like washing them up, but the convenience of one thing, shush, 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 shush on this side, the next thing, shush, shush, shush on this side, for a bit of scrapey, scrapey, washy uppy on the inside. I'm never getting that out of my cupboard, ever.
Yeah, I think that's completely valid. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I have probably cut myself on box graters.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
More than most kitchen gadgets because you've got the blade. You always try and get the last bit, and that's when it catches you. That feels safer.
How much do you think we paid for that?
I wouldn't be surprised if we paid $29.99.
Ooh,
I was going to say 30 to 40 pounds.
I don't think we should have done.
well, don't worry, we didn't. It was 15 quid.
Okay.
So it's half the price I thought,
Still not worth it, in my opinion.
and I think it was twice as good as I was expecting it to be.
So, are you going to turn this gadget up to the Gastro Max, or is it spinning out of control?
Yeah, spinning out of control for me.
I can't see it in my kitchen or life, but I can see how people are tempted to buy it.
Gotcha.
Not for me. Spinning out of control.
Kind of what I was expecting. What did you think? Let us know down below, and let's move on to the next. Lift the cloche.
Oh, yes.
They look like they would house an egg. I reckon you put
is
an egg
this-
in there and close it, and then for some reason, and then you push it down on here,
But then
and
is
then
it-
open it, and does that crack? The teeth would then cut in, and then
then-
when you open it, it's inside the shell, and you open the perfect egg.
Ebbers, contain that excitement. Yes, this is the egg cracker. This innovative eggshell opener makes cracking eggs a breeze, eliminating mess and ensuring clean breaks for raw eggs. Simply place the egg in the opener, press the clamp, and effortlessly release the egg. This practical tool is ideal for daily use in both home kitchens and professional settings.
Yes, this is what
Let's
I came
use
for.
it.
This is what we came for.
We've got the veggies, now some eggs, please. So pop it in,
Clip.
I clip it in.
clip it in, and then
It's quite safe in there.
safe, and then thumbs, and open.
I broke my yolk.
For scrambled eggs, that's fine.
For gravity, right? Presumably the yolk sinks to the bottom and then you pierce it with the things you put in.
We'll try that way around then.
You try one, Mike, see how you get on.
Let's see if we can get a perfect yolk.
Broke a yolk. Well, I mean, for an omelette, they need to be broken. I'll race you with that.
Starting from, you've just picked the egg up. 3, 2, 1, go.
I got a whole egg. I got a whole yolk. No, it's broken. No, it's
Snapped
broken.
it and the shell in it.
There is obviously quite a big ick out there when it comes to eggy fingers and cracking eggs.
Yeah, I mean, eggs come from inside chickens. They're natural things, as is so much food. You knew this was going to annoy me, and it has. I'm trying not to rise to it, but what a waste of everyone's time.
I'll read out some claims. You tell me if they're accurate or not. Reduces chances of eggshell in the food.
Disagree. There's eggshell in his bowl.
Claims to be quicker and easier to streamline kitchen tasks.
Again, perhaps based on dexterity, but in this current situation, neither of those things.
Cracks eggs perfectly every time.
No, 100% of the ones we did with the Gadget, rubbish. So I think each and every one of your claims is false.
There's a feeling in the room that only Ben Eberl, the chef, can create, and it's right here, it's palatable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to double check, did we use it correctly? Because my logic is that you do that because that's where you crack
Double
an egg.
check.
But what if we actually were to put it in like that and then do it that way?
Try, yeah,
So
try.
the yolk is now here and maybe not going to be pierced. And then we do this. Better.
Ah.
So was it user error? I wasn't given instructions.
Chef.
I always like to give these things a fair test and then give you my honest opinion.
That has
Oh,
worked.
right, I see what you've done here.
That's
Okay.
worked, and the yolk is intact. You figured out how to use it correct. Cheers, mate. You had one job. All you needed to do was tell us how to use it.
I thought you'd work it out yourselves, and you did. How much do you think we paid for the trio?
Price, they're probably a ridiculous £5 each, and therefore £15, which isn't just a waste of everyone's money.
I am really enjoying this because if you were to tell us that they cost £2 for 3, then we'll
bad.
be even more angry.
Yeah.
Because
And if you tell me they're £20 each, I'll be fuming. So you can't win.
this is the perfect gadget.
£6.99.
For all of them,
All of them.
the way that they're advertised in short form content on short form platforms, you look at it and you go, that solves the ick I don't like. Sure, you buy it. I reckon there are more of these in landfill than there are in people's kitchens.
Now for the question, I think we know it. Is this gadget an absolute cracker? It is for the sake of this video, definitely. Or is it shell-shockingly bad?
Nice. It's shell-shockingly bad.
It's shell-shockingly.
Hey! Hopefully we can turn this video around. Number 3. You've seen a chef at his lowest. What you're about to see should be the opposite.
That's a lot of foreshadowing.
It's some sort of plunging device. It's sort of suction. It's like a pressure,
Yes!
a vacuum. Presumably it is for preserving liquids that you don't want to oxidate.
That is exactly it, Ebbers. This is an elegant and award-winning wine decanter and wine preserver. Their patented wine preservation system creates an airtight seal and preserves your wine freshness and taste for up to 2 weeks.
Excellent. So we've done very expensive versions of this with like the Coravan where you pour without taking it out and put gas in. We have done the Wine Saver, which is the pump, which is the one by Valve, which is very cheap and very good. I use that at home. I've never seen this, but if it seals it, it's going to work. I quite like the concept.
Should we pop some wine into it?
Yeah.
We're not doing a before and after here. From our research, their facts seem to stack up, and there's quite a few masters of wine out there who have reviewed this and absolutely love it.
Straight off,
Yep.
some wines that have been aged, that have been in bottle for a while, the idea of decanting it's a very good thing. You let it breathe, you let it open up. A decanter, in my opinion, is often a beautiful thing that you decant into, and it's very much a centerpiece, and it's in itself, it's beautiful glassware.
Isn't a wine glass a
This
decanter?
is quite functional. It is, and that's why you swill, because you open it up in the glass. But if you want to decant basically an entire bottle so that you can open up more, you can.
The long funnel gently oxygenates the wine when poured to enhance the flavours.
Yep. We've also looked at gadgets before where you put it through and it sort of spins it through a coil or something, makes a funny noise and does exactly that. At this point, if you were to drink the rest of this between however many people and you want to save this for another day, all that oxygen is going to change the profile of this.
Yep.
Now's the time for the smart bit, removing the oxygen.
So you're decanting it in at an angle.
Yep. And then you pour a glass, the long neck oxygenates the wine, and the sharp lip ensures drip-free pouring. Let's test that. Look at that, long neck gently oxidizing.
Very drip-free. And then presuming we've now drunk enough,
Insert the closure, push the neck down.
at this point it's sealed to stop dust and mites and flies getting in, but there's still oxygen in there.
And then you push the neck down and the valve automatically seals when it reaches the wine.
Plunks into place, and there is no oxygen in there.
That's actually pretty impressive.
For me, the most important fact about this is that there is less dissolved oxygen in that than any of its competitors. Vacuum pumps or argon gas, that is the best way to store your wine. And also the design of the bottle now means if it was a white wine, it would fit into the fridge neatly as well.
Presumably, if I now take this off, it pours. So the next day, I can just go straight back in and drip sip free, have my glass.
And plunge down a bit further.
That goes in, and you plunge down a bit further.
That's satisfying, isn't it?
It is satisfying. If it's doing the job, which it feels like it is, I'm on board with this. I like it a lot.
Thank goodness you like it. Have a guess at how much we spent.
Those Pumpy Pump wine savers, 10 to 20 quid, probably.
The ones that you use at home.
Yeah, and perfectly good. Not as cool and functional as this. It's not as beautiful as this, not as well designed, does the job. I reckon that's, what, 40 quid?
I was going to say 50, but I know nothing about this. I want to know if it works with Prosecco and beer.
None of those things because they're carbonated.
£139.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
This is the stainless mirror version. There is also a gold one.
It works. And if that's the world that you live in where you're trying to preserve expensive wines for days to come, it's a good shout.
I'm not very good at preserving wine.
Do think there are much cheaper ways of doing it, but I like it, it's elegant, and I kind of want one.
Well, I've got a question for you, and it's a worldie because it wasn't written by me, and I can't take claim for this. Is this gadget Riesling up the rankings, or will this one be lost at the Malbec of the cupboard?
That's great.
Good, isn't
That's
it?
really good. Did you write that? I think so. Yeah,
And with the Malbec, there we go, with the Malbec and a Riesling to the top. It's expensive for sure, but I kind of like it and kind of want one. I think it's Riesling or Riesling to the top.
I mean, my opinion's void for this one. I think it's pretty cool, but I also think it sounds really expensive.
We've got time for one more.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Let's do it. And finally, chefs, please lift the cloth.
Chefs!
Look at that, I've been upgraded throughout the episode.
Oh, so these are just wheels that spin.
It's not a salad spinner. The amount of salad spinners I've seen online.
Oh, there's buttons on the front.
There's buttons with words in a language I don't understand.
Multi-marinator.
A multi-marinator.
Now, there is
Surely you don't.
Open the secret compartment.
Ah! Look, it goes in there.
Right, enough playing. Have a guess.
Well, it's pumping. No.
What? What is it pumping?
It is not pumping, it is sucking. Boys, this is the automatic meat vacuum tumbler. It removes air in the drum during the marinating and forces the marinade into the food. This process makes the food more tender and juicy and enhances flavour. The tumbling function helps to improve flavour absorption by mechanically breaking down the muscle fibres whilst tenderising the contents.
So do you suck and then tumble?
You suck and tumble.
Suck and tumble.
On tumble, yeah. To test this out, we'd like you to marinate 3 of the steak in front of you in Cushie's delicious magical spice blend with roasted tomato and garlic in there. Smother it, get it in the vacuum, and for the other, just leave it resting, marinating on its own.
Right.
Meat and marinade in.
With the size of the bucket, you could chuck a lot more meat into that, couldn't you, as well? So there's probably a less manual way of doing this.
Yeah, I guess good for volume.
I'm turning the pointer to suck.
Plug and suck.
Okay.
Quite a lot of air to suck out, I would imagine.
So what are the other ways of doing this without this machine?
Well, a very, very expensive backpack machine, which is out of the reach of most home cooks for sure.
I'd do the sandwich bag.
Sandwich bag, and you can put like a straw in it and you can manually get a lot of it out.
Yeah, but
it's not
put it
going to do it
on
under
water.
vacuum. Or push it out underwater. That's another great suggestion. We're there.
Okay, so apparently
Now twist it to lock.
that's done. We've locked.
Locked. Pull your pipe out. Time to tumble.
The machine says it can tumble for 10 hours, but we only need to do 20 minutes. Because it said if you were to do the traditional way of just leaving it, it would take 24 hours to get the same effect of just 20 minutes in this.
Okay, interesting. Now I can start to see its place.
So it's speeding up the process because there's no air in there. The tumble, I would suggest, is making sure that it's all just evenly covered, because it's not what I thought it was going to do, which is kind of tenderize it in that way. And we've done things like compressed watermelon and cucumber under vacuum, which is really good. I guess under vacuum it would do similar. Whether you would end up bruising it, I don't know, but lots of applications potentially, if it's any better.
Well, let's give it 20 minutes.
Now, are there any instructions on how to open it and remove the vacuum? Or is it just twist and...
I imagine
Just
unlock
twist.
and open.
Yeah, and it goes... Oh, there we go. It goes... Mine's still lovely and pink, whereas yours looks, well, aged. You can see how the fibres have sort of stretched or broken down. There is a visual difference for sure. But I'm going to do them both in the same pan, so everything's nice and fair. First one going in. Because yours has been tumbling, but most importantly, I think it's the acid of the marinade under vacuum has changed the texture. It's actually now more stretched out, elongated, and a thinner steak.
Happy?
Happy, plenty of resting.
Okay, so
That's
this
your
is
one. So not only was the marinade quicker for you, but the cooking time was quicker because it was also thinner.
We're rested.
Yep, noticeable differences considering the one that didn't go in the Gadget took a little bit longer cooking, and I think it's still less well cooked than the other one. So it's actually sped up the cooking as well. The Gadget one,
What are you looking for?
a nice
Medium
sort
rare?
of pink blush, but more importantly,
Lovely.
I think tender, because I think that's what a marinade should do. So
Texture,
it should be nice
flavour.
and, yeah. Whereas here,
Yeah, you're rare. No, actually, I was
not a huge amount of, slightly more rare, and I think more so in the middle, but more importantly, you can see in both cases quite an interesting grain, but that one feels more even actually than that one.
Cheers.
Cheers. I mean, delicious.
Flavour of the
Tasty.
steak comes right through. A little bit of sweetness and the spicing from the marinade is there.
This, there actually isn't as much of a difference as I
Same.
thought there would be, but I would say noticeable visual difference. It cooked a lot quicker, essentially broke the meat down so it was flatter and a thinner piece in that time. The cooking and where it's ended up means it's actually very similar.
So we know it does work, but how does the Gadget compare to other techniques you've used in the past to get a similar result?
What I will say is I think there is only a 10 to 20% difference, probably not even a 20%.
Oh, wow.
I think time will always be your friend in a marinade. If you're stuck for time or pressed for time, I think this will get you there much quicker. So I think it's more of a convenience on time saving than it is making a better product. If you'd have left it in there for 24 hours in the fridge, you'd have got closer to what that looked like in terms of what the acid would have done to the meat. It would have cooked quicker, as that one did. Overall flavour in terms of marinade penetration, difficult to ascertain, but it's worked.
Well, let's see if it justifies the price. How much do you think we paid for it?
Phrasing of that question in itself.
120 quid.
I reckon it might have been 50 quid. Yeah, that sounds silly. Now I've said it, but I'm going with 50.
Mike, you are closer. £58.99.
Not as expensive as I thought.
I'm not sure it's worth all the extra hullabaloo.
Storage and space in the kitchen and washing up. But hey, if you're a foodie with a massive kitchen, you like gadgets and toys, it is giving you a quicker, better product.
Final question of the day. Is this gadget on a roll or is it tumbling into trouble?
I thought it was tumbling into trouble, and then actually the price point is relative to what it does and its quality. It's on a roll.
Whoa!
Just.
Whoa!
I think it's tumbling into trouble, although what I would say is it works. It does what it says it will do. For me personally, there's not £58 worth of difference in the taste that we specifically tested. Now, I'm not saying that that won't be the case for other things, so it does what it says it will do. I just don't think there's £58 worth of value attributed to that difference.
Well, that's what they think. What do you think? Comment down below. Also, if you see more gadgets out there that we should be testing, then send them our way. Also, if you like this video, then do the obvious thing.
Like the video for the egg section alone.
Baz, do you want a slice of steak?
Please.
Don't give him it.